Hello Lightworkers, welcome to Monday. I've got two videos that I'm going to upload today. This one and the one with Stuart Watson as well. This one's going to be brief, okay, but I want to talk about a few key things. I mean, this weekend was fantastic, wasn't it? This weekend was absolutely wonderful all around the world. But looking at it like London, the amount of people that took to the streets. Now, there are all kinds of misinformation going on, and I'll tell you about the misinformation here in Spain as well. They're saying maybe, 10,000, 20,000 or whatever that went to London. Looking at the crowds, and obviously they won't take aerial shots because that just gives the game away. But my estimation, looking at that, is that upwards of 700,000, 750,000 people went, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Here in Spain, in all of the cities around Spain, there were peaceful protests going on, and it's only that happened because one of the people. There's a guy who's a policeman who refused to wear the mask, and he started to talk about it on the internet. Now he has a tremendous following. He's done a wonderful, wonderful job, and he has been suspended for 1 year and 4 months or something for not wanting to wear the mask. Okay, well, he's formed groups. He's basically brought everybody together, and he has created groups in all of the provinces of Spain. And then these groups are getting together and starting to meet up and starting to organize protests, etc. And that's happened in Guadalajara, where I live as well. And it's very beautiful. And it's something, it's incredible, isn't it? We manifest all of the time. At the beginning of this year, a great astrologer here in Spain, Robert from Barcelona, he said that this year was the year in which groups were going to be able to be formed and really work together well. Okay, last year we were all scattered. Last year it was absolutely there was more infighting than anything else. This year is going to be the year of the uniting, where the groups are going to get together, and this is what's happening. This was the feeling that I had. It was only a few weeks ago that I was saying the people who have a very big following, their duty now is to start to help people to join up, to gather together, to actually start to meet one another, because this is a lonely life when you think that you are the only one in your area that's awake. It's quite depressing sometimes, but that's not the case. Even in our province, which is enormous, okay, suddenly we've got all of these people coming in, and we've discovered that the little village just over there, there are two people who are awake there. One village here, there's another person, and we're surrounded by people who are awake, just waiting to meet somebody else. Of course, there's no way that you can know when you're out, and especially because we have the mask issue, that most people wear the mask because they don't want the fine, and so it's difficult when you're out to even know. I don't wear the mask where it's possible, and so people would know that, but not everybody does that. So it's absolutely, this is the way, and I'm sending out this message, and this is a message I would like you all to continue to send out, which is all of these people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions of followers. It's their duty now to bring these people together. They've done a fantastic job of attracting these people. Now we need to start becoming autonomous. We need to start supporting one another. And this is ever so important. It has made a massive difference to us. So on Saturday, we went with our group of 50 people. We've got a group of like 120, or it's growing now, in our area. And 50 of us were able to go into Guadalajara, into the square, and we had a beautiful day. And I'll put a little snippet on of me talking with a megaphone.
Aquí en España en 2018 había 700.000 casos de gripe en España en 2018. 700.000 casos. Y había 15.000 muertos en España de la gripe. En 2020 había 5 personas con gripe, 5.
Telling people about the fact that the flu has disappeared. And yet, in 2018 in Spain there were 700,000 cases of flu and 15,000 deaths. And then in 2020 there were 5 cases of flu and no deaths. And the question is, where did it go? And unfortunately, people actually believe it went because of the masks. I had a conversation with somebody very close to me, a Spanish person, and I said, that fact, 700,000 cases of flu in 2018, 2020, 5. And she said to me, yes, because of the masks. Because we washed our hands and we wore the masks. And I said, okay, right. I mean, you know, there are so many holes in that it's like a piece of Swiss cheese. But I said to her, okay, if that's the case then, when did we start having the masks mandated in Spain? And it was in the summer of 2020. When did we get locked down? Well, that was in the end of February, start of April. Yeah. So I said, so where are the cases of flu in January and February? Where are they? Why, you know, if 700,000 in a year, there should be at least 100,000 from the first 2 months, should there not? They're the worst months, are they not? January and February. And she changed the subject. But I do believe that she believes that the flu disappeared because of the mask wearing. That's what she truly believes. And that's a shame. That's a terrible shame. However, doesn't matter. So we had a beautiful day. We met one another for the first time. It was gorgeous. I came back with an energy that I haven't felt for a long time of like, we're not alone. And then I saw all of these videos of these hundreds of thousands of people in London, and then the police trying to break up something that was a very, very big mistake on their part, and they paid a heavy price for it. And it's just, what I've noticed is that there's a change now. The people who are awake are not frightened anymore. They've crossed the threshold. You know, that threshold of, I don't care anymore. You know, and the very fact that I had the guts, I suppose, to get a megaphone and start talking to people, and you know, as it's like, when did I suddenly become that brave? You know, I mean, walking along the street without your mask is a bit like, whoa. But actually picking up a megaphone and talking to people in the street is another level. But I think that's where we are. Of like, come on, it's time. No, it's time. And during the day, 5 people came up to us who were awake and who were so grateful to see us there, and they've joined our group as well, and they've got other people who in their groups who are awake. So we're going to become a very, very big group, and of course that's the way to do it. Yeah. So very exciting stuff. However, I was given some thought, and for those who've seen the higher consciousness video that I posted with that Joe Kelly had done with me, one of the things that came out was that you mustn't try and change people, okay? Because you must let people dance their dance, and you must let people sing their song, even if it's not the dance that you like and it's not the sound that you like. So I was thinking, hang on a minute, you know, by protesting, are we damaging ourselves karmically? Are we trying to force people to change? And we shouldn't. So I did some meditation on it, and basically the answer that I got was this: absolutely not. We are not damaging ourselves at all. In fact, we have to do it. Why? Because it's our dance and it's our song. And so we have to dance our dance, and we have to sing our song. So where does the karmic damage come in? When is it that you're starting to damage yourself? Well, it's all about attachments to outcomes. You see, when you just imagine you're in a disco, and a beautiful disco, I think it's a bit old for discotheque. In Spain they still call it discotheques, yeah? And they put a song on that you love, and you get up and you dance your dance to that song. You're not dancing because you want other people to watch you. You're not dancing because you want other people to dance. You're dancing because you love that dance, you love that song. Okay? It's your thing. That's dancing without attachment. That's doing things without attachment to an outcome. So what the bottom line is this: if we go out to protest and we go out there specifically with the intention of changing people, like making people listen, you've got to listen, and then when they don't, we get sad and upset and angry, that's being attached to the outcome. That is what does us damage, because it actually does us internal damage because of the disappointment and the anger and the hate. But when we go out because we have no choice but to go out, like on Saturday, I had no choice but to speak. I had to speak my truth. That's being authentic. That's being you and dancing your dance. And some people called me hijo de puta, okay, which is son of a bitch. Some people looked at me and said hijo de puta. But other people came and talked, and that was beautiful. You know, so regardless, you don't need to be attached to things, to the outcome, to get the outcome you want. All you have to do is present the intention. It's the intention of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to speak my truth and I'm going to see who I can help. That's it. That's fine. There's no karmic debt with that at all. And it reminded me of a story of the student that was with his guru. And the student was getting really miffed with the guru, because gurus are like, traditionally they're very mystical and they don't really tell you the real truth. And the student said to the guru, ever since I've been with you, you have said nobody knows God. God is unknowable. And so anything that we say about God is not worth saying. It is an error. We do not know. So there's no point in talking about God. He said, and I understand that. He said, but ever since I've been with you, all you've ever done is talk about God. So what's going on? Do we talk about him or do we not? And the guru smiled and he said, listen to that bird singing in the tree. And there was a bird there singing. He said, the bird is singing not because he has a message to give. The bird is singing because he has a song to sing. And that's basically where we have to be. The bird is an authentic bird. Birds sing. We need to be authentic and we need to sing. We need to speak our truth. But it isn't that we want to change people. It isn't that we're desperate to make things different. That's having an attachment. We're just going to sing our song because that's who we are. And of course, the other situation that happened with the guru and the student is that we don't have to chapter and verse it. We don't have to spew out facts and figures. They help sometimes, but most times I've noticed that people don't give a shit about facts and figures. You know, people don't care. They don't listen to the facts and figures. Although the facts and figures prove everything, prove everything is a fake. People aren't interested. So sometimes it's not worth it. So the student said to the guru, he said, he was eating an apple. And he said, I know that you know all of the information about being illuminated, about being awake. I know you know it all. So why do you speak so cryptically? Why don't you just share the information? Why don't you just give me the information so that I might be illuminated too? And the guru looked at him and said, and do you want me to chew that apple for you and spit it back in your mouth? And so, this is where we are at the moment. We don't have to chew the apple for other people. Let them chew it. Let them decide if they're going to pick it up and bite it. Okay? That's not our job. What we have to do is speak from the heart, speak our truth. Be who we should be. And good will come of it. You know, when we are authentic, when we are singing our song, that is the most powerful affirmation that we can do. That is the most powerful affirmation that creates when we're authentic. This is the secret of affirmations. When we are making an affirmation and we are attached to the outcome so much that if we don't get it, we're going to be pissed off. We won't get it. We won't get it. Because what we're doing is we're pushing against it. We're focusing on not having it. You know, I want this, but if I don't get it, I'm going to be really pissed off. That's it. The focus is on, I'm not going to get it. It's on pushing. And I'll leave you with this. I've done many team building courses in all kinds of situations. And I've used a lot this example, and you can try it. I want you to try this because it's the biggest life lesson that you can learn and that other people can learn too. So all I want you to do, and maybe you've seen it, all I want you to do is I want you to go up to somebody you know, okay? And I want you to say to them, put your hand up like that. Right? It's very important that you give them these very basic instructions. Put your hand up like that. That's all you're going to ask them to do. Then what you're going to do is, they've got their hand up, you're going to put your hand on theirs and you're going to start to push without saying anything. You're just going to say, put your hand up like that, and then you're going to start pushing. Now, unless the person is extremely outside of the normal, and so I'm talking about 99.999% of people, as you push, they will push back. And the harder you push, they will push equally. Just about every time I've done this, every time in fact, they won't push you back. All they will do is they will push at the force that keeps their hand in the same place. The more you push, the more they push back. And the hands just stay in the same place. Okay? Then, before you say anything, I want you to say, okay, give me your hand. Take the hand. Okay? Just take the hand. And I want you to pull them towards you. Pull them. And what you'll find is that most times, and I want you to smile. Smile and say, give me a hand. Most times, they will come toward you if you're smiling at them, nodding. Okay? After that, I want you to say to them, why did you push? Ask them that. Why did you push when I pushed against your hand? And do you know what most people say to me? Because you pushed. Because you pushed. I pushed. So it's this innate need that we've got, that when somebody pushes us, we push back. Equal. You know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Never truer in this test. People will push back. That applies exactly to when we are trying to impart information. When we do it without attachment to the outcome, we are not pushing anymore. We're not pushing. When we push, and I'll give you an example. On Saturday, one person that came to the protest that we did had a megaphone, and she was really angry. I could see it when she came. She had the face of anger, and she started to speak to the people and call them names and say that you're asleep, you're stupid, you're sheep. Okay? And we instantly told her not to do that. All of us, like, do not do that. Why? Because that's pushing. And what happens if you push people? They're going to push back. It's the rule of martial arts. Martial art is never pushing. It's always, if you watch people who do judo, what happens is they use the power of the person as they push and they pull. They always pull. It's utilization of energy. It isn't pushing people. Okay? Sometimes there's a time when it's right to push people. But I'm talking about at the moment. What we do is we pull people. So we go without attachments to anything. We go to sing our song. We're happy. All of us that were there, we were smiling and laughing and dancing. That is how we pull. And that's what happened. People came to us. We drew people to us going, I didn't know you existed. Yes, I agree with everything. One woman, I was shouting about something with the megaphone, and one woman came across with her husband and she applauded me as she walked, yes, across the road. That is pulling. Okay? So that's where we have to be. That's what we have to do. Sing your song. Dance your dance. Do your stuff. Never be shy, and do what comes from the heart, right? Just like the bird in the tree sings because it's got a song to sing, and we've got a big song to sing. Okay, have a lovely week, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.